Oh yeah. Hi. I can see you down there. I can see you up there. I can see you over there. Jess Cam. Move everything around. Where's my sponge? Ah, there. Yep, trimming plates. Yeah, the delay is odd. Is there a way that I can make an adjustment to fix that, or is that just our life? Oh, thanks. That was my trip to Lowe's today. Joel's little. Yeah, I asked ChatGPT for some advice on how to improve my feed, and this is what it told me to do. This one? ChatGPT said that I should use different textures. And so I put some canvas down here. There's some lights down below. OBS, OBS cameras. I'm having a hard time completing a thought because I could hear myself on your stream. Sorry. Working on it. I think I got it. Just had to turn my camera down. Or I mean my microphone down. Sorry about the echo. Yeah, I'll be honest, I was pretty skeptical about ChatGPT, but it's come in really handy past few days because you start telling it things and it remembers what you told it days ago. So I'm asking it questions about my brand and what I should look like and things that I can include. And I uploaded my brand colors. And so it has all that in its head and it's kind of telling me what sort of textures to use and what kind of materials to use. So I just went on over to the Homo Depot and picked up what you see here, stapled it on the wall, and sham wow. Yes, just reading my mind. Great idea. Yes, connect. Whoa. behind the scenes. This was just some scrap wood that I had in the garage. And I know I have some projects coming up that we're going to use more of this. So I just, I didn't fill it in. I just left it the bare wall there. But I know I've got more coming. And then on this side, this is just actually some scrap that we had from when we had our floors done. And then I wrapped the shelves with some cheap cedar so that it didn't have such a white look. I think by the time it catches up, everything will be a-okay. But I can see you. I'm excited that we're watching Field of Dreams tonight. Kevin Costner. Tell me about the local theater that you all have. remember when you asked me this question 5 minutes ago? Yeah, Mandy gave me a bunch of recommendations. So last night I watched a movie called The Impossible. Have you seen that one? It's about it's got Ewan McGregor in it, and it's about, I think it's a true story about a family that survives a tsunami in Thailand. Have you seen it? Yeah, The Impossible, it is a movie that you feel like you're getting a workout watching it. It is, there are many scenes that are difficult to watch. Sure, what's going on there? Ah, that makes sense. It is time to go to the movies. The old Swan City folk. Wait, it's not on here. On here.
Exciting episode, but it is what it is. I woke up at like 3 o'clock and just laid in bed till like 8 or 9, whatever. It's just great. So pretty tired. We're gonna have an early evening. Wrapping up the stream right now. We're gonna go watch Field of Dreams. Go have an early dinner. Hopefully get some rest tonight, and we're gonna be back tomorrow for a full day stream. So we gotta finish these juicers.
Yeah, Josh is in the van. I feel like that's a gift. A gift to be in the van. Yeah, The Impossible. Tough movie to watch. Tonight, really excited to watch Field of Dreams. Feel good movie. I know I've seen it, but it probably has been. Thank you. I wonder, is that better? Leah! Leah's the best. The best. Nothing's ever gonna bring you down. You're the best. Oh, thank you. Trimming up these plates. Mm. do not have plates on the website because I have not been able to make successful plates yet. I mean, these are successfully made. I should say I should have not been able to successfully glaze plates yet. Just don't like the way they look. I read this article. Tell me what you think about this. That the color of our plates can impact our experience with food. One of the many examples is that red plates actually can decrease your appetite. So if you want to eat less, red plates are the way to go. Is that what I want to do? Oh, thank you. Leah, put me on Discord. My executive producer is here. Leah. EP. VP of EP. Yeah, I was just saying that the color of the plates that I'm making has been a major challenge. The pots that I am making right now are either blue or green. And I just have a personal preference that the plates not be blue or green. I want them to be white. Yeah. Yeah, no doubt. You don't want your plates to look like the walls of a prison. So my honest preference is white. But how do you make white interesting? That's been a real challenge that I have not figured out yet. I have some tests in the kiln right now where I'm trying to grow some crystals in the white glaze, gold crystals, which I think could be a very cool plate, white with gold crystals. Oh, that's an interesting idea. Oh, Leah, that's a really good question. Would the white stain over time? Actually, that's a interesting that you should ask that because when I first moved to California, I ran into this problem where my glazes, I don't know if you can see this, but inside of here, it was white and there's now even, that's better, cracks that have formed in the glaze. And this mug has just been used for 2 months. Um, and it doesn't sound very good either. They should sound like this. Have a nice bell-like pitch. But this one has a thud sound. And the reason that happened is in California, the materials and the clay, they're just different. And I was completely ill prepared for the change. So I had a pretty major setback about a year ago trying to figure out what was going on. But that was the longest way to answer your question, and that is to say that a properly made glaze, a white properly made glaze, will last for years and years. But as you can see with that mug there, if it's not properly made, yeah, you're going to want your money back. And you should get your money back. That mug should have ended up in the garbage to begin with. That's fine enough. I like that white in the middle, blue on the outside, or green. Working on a. It's funny, you wouldn't think this is the case, but actually gray is a very hard color to get in ceramics. Oh, that's a good idea. Mixing the two glazes. Yeah, here I do things a little bit differently from other potters, where I start the glazes from like a molecular chemistry, and I build the glazes up. One example of that is the inside of this mug is glossy, and the outside is sort of matte, but and they are the same glaze. So you can see same color, but this one just has a different finish than my speed reader. Uh, and I adjust the chemicals in the glaze to make that change. And I love being able to do that, being able to control the glazes. I feel like I have more ownership over them. Oh, the Giffen grip? Are you talking about the trimming wheel here? I've always used one. I think some potters would kind of frown or poo-poo the Giffen grip because it is an aid. But I have always appreciated any kind of help I can get. What's wonderful about it is that it is like auto centering. So you can grab the piece off and then there's two discs that rotate and you kind of like hold the bottom with this hand and then rotate the top and the arms come in and it's great because you could just put it on there and it holds it for you in the middle. And then if you unwind it and put the legs, this has little legs that can come and turn around and hold your tops and things in taller pieces. Just just super handy. Yeah, it is so satisfying to do it. And I think Mir, he's been around a long time. He could start doing it. If you don't make your own, like if you don't control the chemistry of your glazes, then I think in general, we all kind of end up with glossy glazes because they are the easiest to apply to a variety of clay bodies without cracking. And so or glaze manufacturers, they want to make a variety of different glazes, but when you make a matte glaze, for example, they're really prone to what's called shivering. And it's one of the most dangerous things in glaze chemistry because shivering is where the glaze actually pops off of the pot because it doesn't shrink enough. Anyway, it makes little shards, sharp shards. Uh, and that's one of the reasons why it's taken me so long to make glazes because it just takes a whole bunch of testing to figure it out. Me too. Leah, I know that you are a crafty person. Is that right? Were we talking the other day, maybe it was a couple of weeks ago, about a sticker cutting machine? I can't recall what it was, but I looked it up and I thought, holy cow, this is super awesome. Hey! Yeah, the Circuit. Leah, can you tell me a little bit about the kind of stickers that you make? How's your day going today, Mandy? Hopped on here because I wanted to test out my new backdrop, which was my project for the morning. It was that or anxiously pace in front of the kiln while it cools. I always drive myself crazy checking the temperature 27 times every hour. Yeah, we'll all have to send some positive energy for Nick and Jess. I feel so bad for those two. They're kind of in a little bit of a unlucky streak. The kiln breaking and the stamp that they need not coming, and customers kind of breathing down their neck to get the orders. Wish there was something I could do. Oh, oh, I'd love to see pictures. Writer, wrestling content. What's up, dude? Are you a freestyle wrestler or collegiate? You tossing people over your head or you doing double legs and fireman's carries? Oh, that's very interesting, Leah. I, what I'm really curious about is like the range of the sticker, right? It looks to me like it is essentially one color, whatever vinyl that your sticker material that you're putting in there, and it's cutting it out with essentially a X-Acto knife. Do I have that right? So you're not going to like print or do multicolors, which is cool. I just wanted to understand more of what it is, so I might be able to use it. Oh, Lee, I'm sorry to hear that you're sick. That is the pits. This might be rude, but whenever Wendy is sick, I I sleep in one of our guest bedrooms. I'm not trying to get sick. It's rude, I know, but she and the dog can be in there and suffer together. Oh, I see. So you could print with your printer and then run the circuit over the print. Yaha! Now that makes sense. Is that how you mainly do it? Is the printer and the circuit combo? Or are you sticking with one color? Oh, I love craft. I would go so far to say is that I am not an artist. I am a craftsman. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure if this little community of people is indicative of YouTube as a whole or the internet in general, but it just feels like we've come across a group that is the sort of people that make you want to be a better person. You know what I mean? And that feels rare. Like I am so grateful to have come across this community through Swan City. Leah, then are you um, passionate about Instagram? Do you do a lot of Instagram posts with all the editing and printing? Not sure if the sync focuses or not. Well, if any of you are up for it, I am gonna watch Field of Dreams tonight. Mandy, last night I watched The Impossible, which is an amazing movie. It's an amazing story, and I felt like I had a workout watching it because there were so many scenes that are just really hard to watch. But I'm better for it, and I'm really glad that I did. And I'm super grateful for the recommendation. I have been to Thailand, and I can't imagine what that would have been like. Wow, semi-professional makeup artist. Was that just a tremendous amount of pressure to be working on people's faces who are then, using that as, well, really to like make their money, Stressful. Yes, no doubt. I can relate to that, Mandy. I, in my previous life, was a high school pottery teacher, and I was always really worried because when I got that job, I was 23, and I was just really worried that my social media presence, I would make some kind of a mistake and that it would affect me professionally. So I've never had social media before. And even though I've had this account since 2011, what I previously used it for was instructional videos and didn't have any kind of like public following because I just used the YouTube essentially as a storage device. I just kept them private, and then I just showed them to the students during class, kind of on a loop. Like when you're teaching people the basics of throwing a cylinder, it can be very valuable to have somebody with like a close-up camera showing you exactly where to put your fingers, and then just have that on like a 10-second loop. And so that's what I did. 25 minutes. So that means they are at the movie theater. The organist is playing the organ. There's popcorn in hand, perhaps some kind of a beverage, Mountain Dew. Probably nothing with caffeine because I know they're both pretty wiped. It's going to be Field of Dreams and then snows. We're sending you all of our positivity, Nick and Jess. Hey, soda. Anybody interested in some show and tell? I put some pots here so that you can see what I'm trying to do. I put it down here. I have a light down here that's a little bit orange. Let me change it. I got this bowl, this green bowl, and I use this glaze here that I call surf. And let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby and get ourselves a snack. Yeah, the clay is different. Yeah, this one is. Uh, these are just when with the plates. Yeah, I have this pug mill over here, like a big mixer. And if I'm making a variety of different things, then I throw it in there. And with plates, I use it. I use the reclaim because it comes out in a tube, not a tube, in a log, and then I can cut the logs at the right lengths, and I roll it out and then make it into a plate. So my bowl, I got this on the outside, the little surf. This runs down different amounts on each time. So on the little bowls, you can see sometimes you get a little ham-handed, and it drips down like way too far. Sometimes it goes like right down to the foot rim, which is wild. Haven't had any catastrophes yet, but big thing for me is that I want the foot rim of the pots to be a handle so that you can grab it and move it around when it comes out of the dishwasher. You can grab it and hold it, and it's just very comfortable. So all the pots have those, and then I don't have the one right here, but when this fires, after the fire, the plates are the lids for the bowls. Uh, and then the plates are the lids, and this will shrink 15%, so it'll fit a little bit better. But then the plate is the lid for the big bowl too. And because the foot acts like a handle, it just makes it a real breeze to put things in the microwave, or if you like don't finish your dinner and just want to put this in the fridge. You just put the plate on top of the bowl and into the fridge you go. And it makes it really easy. Then I also put these little cutouts here. Yeah, for the dishwasher. Nothing worse than unloading the dishwasher and have that, puddle of goo. No one likes a puddle of goo in there on the bottom of their bowls. Thank you, Leah. Yeah, I appreciate that. The stacking is really important to me as well. You can see here that I stack the plates that I'm trimming there lip to lip and foot to foot, and it keeps them from warping out. Yeah, I want everything in the collection to be stackable. I have still some adjustment to do, and that's why these are over here. They just didn't quite make it onto the website. But I want the mugs to stack, and I want the cups to stack like this, so that when they're in the cabinet, it just makes your life easier. Leah said, "I know, right? Swan, Murray are all like that. You can tell it's not just about utility, carefully thought out. They've imagined people using them. Love that." Oh no, third sprayer in the dishwasher. That is a bummer. To me, the design of the work is all about utility. It's like this one of the potters that I admire most had this saying that utility is the first metric of beauty. And what I understand about that is it is possible for me to make pots faster and easier. And for example, the other day I was listening to a podcast and a potter was on there. He was talking about making a $20 mug, that it was for him very important to have mugs that he could sell for $20. And I really identify with that because the cost of our work is something that weighs heavy on me. And I don't want my pots to be cost prohibitive. And the idea of a $20 mug is very appealing to me. But as utility being the first metric of beauty, I want my pots to function in a way that is beyond what you can find when you buy something off the internet, like that's machine made. Like I always relate to the number one dad mug. I really need to buy a number one dad mug so I have it as an example. But number one dad mug is basically the cheapest, fastest mug that you could make. It's cast from a mold. It can be, interesting or funny but number one dad mug doesn't have your dishwasher cutout, doesn't have a comfortable handle like this one. I have put these little bumps right here so that when this is super duper hot, that your finger is insulated from the heat. And I'm talking too much, but what I'm trying to say is that I'm trying to make the best pots that I can. Or another way to say that is like I'm making pot pots as slow as I can. You know what I mean? I'm trying to think about and spend time on each component. Whereas other potters, they don't trim because it just takes way less time. But if I didn't trim, then I couldn't have this boss foot rim, that you could hold. Leah, would you be willing to email me some photos of your stickers? I would love to see. I've always wanted to make personalized mugs. Uh-huh. Mandy, I was just reading about your hot water heater. Dishwasher is a wild place. Actually, it's a place that I think about all the time as a potter because uh, glaze degradation we measure based on 50 washes in the dishwasher. And so I guess to your, yeah, yeah, my email is just hello@thegoodspottery.com. Yeah, I appreciate that, Leah. My thinking is that I would either use it as some kind of a stencil or potentially the modern version of this could be using like a laser cutter to actually put an unfired pot into and like carve the design into the glaze using the freaking laser beam. But about the dishwasher, it typically heats the water beyond what's coming out of the tank. I would say it's quite unusual that the head is melting. It makes me wonder if the head is being blocked. It's not because if you've replaced now three of them, it makes me wonder if that is actually not spinning. It's being blocked by something and it's too close to the element when it hits that. So if it were me, I think I would like get that drawer out of there or figure out if there's something hitting it, maybe a knife that fell down or something like that. I'm not saying that's the answer, but that's what comes to my mind. It's like they make them to withstand lots of temperature. What would cause it to melt? Maybe if it was too close to the heating element. Yeah, no kidding. We've actually had an issue where we get power surges and it fried the refrigerator. And so there was a computer to replace on the refrigerator, and then the dishwasher was having to freak out. And now our freaking microwave's having to freak out. It's a way to put this surge protector in. Hope that fixes it. Because Mandy, as I'm sure you are well aware, these things are not cheap. Dishwasher costs $1,500 nowadays. I want to know that that thing is spinning around and around. What I would do is I'd like get the dishwasher going, and then at great risk to myself, I would like yank the door open while it was going and look in there to see if it was spinning. I don't recommend that, but that's probably what I would do. But I'm an idiot. I always say that I'm basically a monkey with a hammer. Yeah, and every time you have to replace one, it's $45, but it's also just the frustration of having to replace something that you've just replaced. And no matter how much you yell at the dishwasher, it doesn't hear you. It makes me feel better though. Yes, yes, Mandy. Is it the top or the bottom arm? Ah, it's the bottom. Well, I sympathize with you. That would be so frustrating. So my grandma just called. Grandmother. Grandmother is 98 years old. 98. Sharp as a whip. I'm good at breaking things too, Mandy. It's probably my number one skill. Demo day? Yes, I'm good at that. Ooh, I notched the heck out of this thing. Can I fix it? Is it worth fixing? I'm gonna switch these feet for some lower profile feet. I bought this unit. I've had two others in my professional life of the Giffen grips, and they're quite expensive. 250 bucks plus whatever extras you need to buy, the arms and whatever. But I went on the old Amazon and I found this one 80 bucks. I don't know, maybe you can weigh in on this, but I'm 100. I mean, I don't know, I know for a fact, but I feel like it's a knockoff. I mean, it is a knockoff, but I don't know if it's illegal knockoff. Not sure if I should feel bad about it. It's the exact same as the other two that I've had, but it costs $200 less. Not gonna keep this. Yeah, Grandma, 98. She just turned in her keys. When was I talking to Mom? I mean, maybe a month ago, she decided to stop driving. Yeah, she was telling me about when my grandfather was in the Navy. They went to Okinawa and they went to, I think, Oahu or Honolulu, maybe. And when they stayed there, they stayed in, like she called it a Quonset hut, which is just a little tent, basically. And that was, she said there were groups of like 600 people, and that was the barracks. That's where they lived, just all in tents. Yeah, giving up the license. The way she described it is that she just preferred to be driven around from now on, which I like that perspective. It's like she's done enough work. Now it's time for the rest of us to pick up the slack. She did tell me too that she started to eat ice cream cones every night. She says, I only weigh 105 pounds and I can afford to eat whatever I want. And so her decision was to have an ice cream cone every night. So the last time I was speaking to her, she said, well, I have to go. It's time for my ice cream cone. I love that. There ought to be a time for ice cream cones in your day. Hmm. Yeah. Right. Yes. We shall now chauffeur me around. Where were we? We were in Maui last year, I think. Was that last year? Maybe the year before when they had those fires. We were there. And what I learned, because I've always enjoyed driving a motorcycle, and on Maui, I was driving around in a car with some friends. And I was like, I want to get a scooter because I saw some scooters. And they said, oh, don't get a scooter on Maui because that is what people who get DUIs have to drive. I didn't quite understand that fully because I thought If you're a licensed driver, or that you would still need a license to drive a scooter, but apparently on Maui, if you get DUIs, they regale you to a scooter. So there's a stigma to it. Good for you, Leah. Yes, yes. Primary food group. Can we get a favorite ice cream in the chat? What would you have to pick? If you had to pick one, maybe this is two separate questions. What's your current favorite ice cream flavor? And then the separate question would be if you could only eat one ice cream flavor for the rest of your time, what would it be? And they might be different. I was trying to think of the name of my current favorite one. It's got candy canes in it and white chocolate chunks. Mm, I love chocolate chip mint. The only thing that makes chocolate chip mint ice cream better is mint chocolate Girl Scout cookies to use as a spoon. Mm, double mint and chocolate. Yes, Leah, you know it. Ooh, Haagen-Dazs strawberry. Hmm. Gosh, I wonder if there's a type of ice cream that I don't like. Do you all have ice cream flavors that you don't like? I think when I was younger, a younger fool, I didn't like Rocky Road because it has nuts. But I've refined my palate over the years, and now it includes Rocky Road. Ooh, Oreos. Is Oreos mm, yes. Yes. Cherry Pepsi floats? That sounds outstanding. Hmm. Not a fan of dark chocolate. I've heard that some folks don't like dark chocolate. If it's too bitter, I don't like it. But if I'm honest, the only reason I don't like it is if there were other good options available, because if there wasn't, I would still eat the dark chocolate. Yeah, yeah, I totally would. Yeah, vanilla. Can't go wrong. Classic. Goes with so many things. Pie, cake. Any other ice cream? Like vanilla, you could have a scoop of vanilla with just about any other ice cream. The goods, poultry. Kind of going back to the movie, The Impossible. When I was a young man, I had a reputation for accidents. I don't I don't know why, but it was such a reputation that before we got married, my mom pulled Wendy, my fiance at the time, aside and like had this confession moment like, hey, you need to know that this guy is accident prone, specifically on vacation. And there are two examples that she came up with to prove her point. The first was when I was 14, nope, yeah, 14 or 15, went to Mexico on a missions trip, borrowed a kid's bike, didn't speak any Spanish, but he clearly told me before I left that there were no brakes on the bike and did not pay any attention. Went down a big hill, crashed, and then like smashed my face. Had to have some stitches in my face. I remember going to the hospital and the surgeon who was whatever stitching my face up asked me if my father had a mustache. I said no, which was a lie because my father has a mustache and at the time I think had a beard. But I always wondered like why would he ask me if my father had a mustache as he was stitching up my face? I don't know, maybe there's some kind of like I don't know, why would it matter? Don't know. And the other one, when I was in college, went to Trinidad for Carnival, and I got hit by a car, broke my leg. So, with those two stories, there was a prenuptial, agreement between my mom and my wife about the dangers of vacationing with me. But I'm proud to say that we made it through Thailand without any incidents. Thank God. Now, Mandy, I know you've never been out of the US, but have you ever had any vacation mishaps? Any trips that went afoul? While you're thinking, I believe my mom told a third story, which was when I was like 11 years old. We were on a road trip to Bear Lake City, Utah, and had my appendix out. Yeah, I ruined all of our vacations as a kid. Going back, seeing that Mandy was talking about pistachio or peach. I love pistachio, and really excited now to try peach flavored ice cream. I have, I don't recall ever trying it. I love peaches. I love ice cream. I am certain I would love it. Mommy always used to joke that I was born with one foot in the grave and the other on a banana peel. Oh my God, that's hilarious. You got one foot in the grave and one foot on a banana peel. Oh, that should be on a t-shirt. Your mom sounds like a great lady. If you've got lines like that, you're a deep thinker. Or you're just around some poor clumsy kid all the time and in your exasperated state. Got one foot in the grave and one foot on a banana peel. Mandy, I know you're from Arkansas, and Leah, I can't remember where you are from. Yeah, I like the peach ice cream with fresh peaches. The ones are supposed to be like crumbles or peach pie. I don't like. Oh my goodness, I didn't even know that was an option. Fresh peach ice cream. I'm trying to figure that out. Yum. Can you buy that at the store, or do you have to find it at somebody's grandmother's house? Speaking of peaches, one time Wendy and I were in Italy. Went to this restaurant on this hill, Montepulciano. There was this lady, she was the owner and she was the chef. It was just like her. And we ordered something with peaches and she said, "Oh, I gotta go get them at from my house. I gotta go pick these peaches." It's always stuck with me, like the beauty of and simplicity of a small owner operator place where there's a direct connection from the tree in her yard to the plate that she can serve. Because I feel that way about pottery. It's just a direct connection between you and me when you use my pots. If you use my mug, you know me. Because I've just spent so much time thinking about the mug. So I call it the Joshua mug. And I've spent 25 years thinking about this one mug. And I think I've made, I don't know, 700 of them in the last year. Now, I always try to think of a way to make them better. I've changed the shape a lot, different styles, but always with the same components. Dishwasher cutout, foot rim, 1 pound. Got to be light, You don't want to have one arm that has a bicep bigger than the other because you're using a handmade mug. back up here because I missed something. Leah said East Tennessee, home of the Great Smoky Mountains. I don't think I've been to Tennessee, but I would love to go. Is Tennessee? I was just watching a movie the other day. Bartlett Bartlett Marathon. I think it was in Tennessee. It's a 120-mile trek through the woods. It's the same at it's at the store, but I'm sure Grandma could make it better, no doubt. That one. The one that speaks to me is my parents, and I went to the movie theaters during our stay to see Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince. Great movie. And just used the bathroom. Got up and walked out. Got down and couldn't remember which section of with the theater we were in and which seats, and it was dark, so I missed it. Oh man, missed the last 45 minutes of the movie. Well, I hope that you went back and watched it because that is the best part of the movie. Leah, good question. I am in California, and Mandy knows because I think you said that her grandparents, that's wrong. Maybe it is her grandpa. Yeah, grandpa. Also lives or lived in Riverside County. And Riverside is about an hour north of San Diego and about 90 minutes, I'll call it south, even though it's not. It's like southeast of Los Angeles. We were super grateful to not be impacted by the fires. There was a fire about 2 miles from our house, but we were saved because the winds were blowing the opposite direction. So even though there was so much craziness going on, we didn't experience any of it. The humidity was crazy low. Oh, your dad, that's right. The motorcycle guy. I know this stuff. Motorcycle, no, skateboarders. Dad was in the skateboarding scene, used to live next to Tony Hawk. Well, I don't have the excuse that you have. Leah, how old are your children? One's a toddler, so I'm guessing in the twos and threes. Oops. 3 and 4. So you are a busy mama. Let's joke of something. But that is a very busy house. So much joy. I've often, I don't know, it's a choice that you make, but I chose to not have kids, and you know, maybe wondered what it would be like. This is my last plate, and I think I mentioned this earlier, but I did some asking of ChatGPT about how to make my stream better because I have never had social media before. And so, as an immigrant to social media, so to speak, I would love any thoughts or critique or ideas that you might have about what I could do better. I have some goals. My goals are to be better about asking people questions. I think that is something that as a high school teacher that I got really bad at. And so I want to improve myself in this way. And I want to get good at listening. So I'm just going to put it out there that I am not a fragile person. And I would love any kind of ideas or thoughts that you have about what I can do to make this more interesting or relevant, better. Some improvements that I have in the works. You can see from today that I did some work on the background, and then I have another camera coming to replace that one, this one, the bottom. Right now it's just the webcam that's on my laptop, and it's not a very high resolution. So I want them both to be like this one so that I can zoom in and move around. Leah, thank you so much. That is very nice of you to say. I am extremely grateful for YouTube Live. Before I tried it, I didn't understand it, the benefits of it. But sitting here for 10 hours a day in the garage by myself is, it's a lonely existence. So to be able to share this with other people is, I don't know, it really helps me to be here, not alone. Thank you so much for being here. Well, I'm excited for tomorrow because have I have like 50 glaze samples in the kiln, which I hope are going to give me a white with gold crystals and a whole bunch of blue pots. So I'll be able to share that and show people kind of the work that I'm making. Tonight I'm going to go watch Field of Dreams just on Amazon. I saw it was on sale for $3, something like that. Next is I'm going to take all of these scraps, put them in the pug mill machine, make new clay. because my bucket is full. And I just fill up this 5-gallon bucket. It's got all these scraps in it. I just use a bug sprayer from the old Lowe's. And I just put a little bit of water on anything that's dry. And then the machine is just like an industrial mixer. It just grinds everything up. And I'll reuse everything. I don't go live crafting often lately, more talky vlogs and stuff, but I always enjoy talking and engaging with people. Hopefully bring people a smile and even the occasional giggle. That is so sweet. Yeah. I think humor is so valuable. I had to move my tools around. I'm a creature of habit, so I am lost. Pottery smoothie. Yes. And gross. Well, gosh, thank you so much for being here and for sharing this time with me. I am super, super grateful. Thanks a lot. I heard Nick and Jess are going to be on all day tomorrow, so I'll be curious to hear how their struggle is going. Otherwise, I'll say good night and have a wonderful day to you all. Oh, yes, absolutely, Leah. Anything that you can contribute or even anything that's bugging you about what you see, it won't hurt my feelings. I promise. Thank you so much. It's very valuable to me what your thoughts might be. Thank you, Mandy. Cheers. I hope you have a wonderful evening. See you again soon.